how's it going? Ezekiel the Barber back with another episode for you all. Thanks for tuning in. Today's haircut, we have a high skin fade with a little texture trim on the top. So this is the before. Alright, so there's the before for you guys. Let's go ahead and get into the tools that we'll be using for today's cut. I'll be using a simple comb and also the 100th anniversary Oster cordless clippers. So I'll just start with that clipper lever all the way closed, which is going to give me similar to a bald look. Alright, always pull that ear out of the way. Make sure it's out of the way of the blade, very important. And we're just going to take that guideline all the way around just to kind of make sure everything's nice and even before we go to our next step. We'll just fast forward the frames for the sake of time for you. Just repeating basically the same steps that we did on the other side. Now this client likes everything really bald, so we have to take it a step further. We're going to go to the Fabulous cordless trimmers, the silver and black edition. So, the angle that I'm using now will get things a little balder, but switching it to this angle will even get it tighter. So he likes to go as bald as possible. As you can see, a little bit of that hair coming off, some of the stubble that was still there from the clippers, so we just want to get things a lot cleaner there. Now this client does like to get things bald, just not as bald as like a shaver or a razor. These clippers do a really good job, so that's why we're going to these clippers. Turning it over just to get things a little closer. So things are looking pretty clean here. Always want to clean that fade off. Make sure all that hair is out of there so you can see the fade. So then next I'm just going to grab the cordless 100th anniversary wall clippers. So we're just going to open that lever up. It's not going to give a bald look. That's the look that we did on the first guideline, which was closing that lever. This time we're going to open the lever. You're still going to see a little stubble there. I'm going to go about a quarter of the way up. Alright, so once we set that guideline, we're eventually going to close the lever and then just go right at that bottom hard line. So there it is there. You see me attacking the bottom hard line, not going up too high, because then that'll take the fade away. So just the line that you see at the bottom, you just close that lever and just attack right at that bottom line, just to erase that line. So as you can see, that transition is being created. And that's essentially how you create the fade. Alright, so time for that 0.5 or the half guard. We'll go ahead and set the next guideline going about a quarter of the way up. Open that lever. So that's an open lever. So we'll start with that open lever going about a quarter of the way up once again. Alright, so next up is the number 2 guard. So we'll eventually go back to the 1 and the 1.5 guard in between this zone, but I just want to set this next guideline and jump right over to the number 2 guard. So start with an open lever, and then just go straight up. In this case, I'm only going up about an inch from my last guideline. As you can see at the bottom of that fade, kind of needs to transition a little better, so that's what I'm attempting to do here. Just opening that lever up, going right at the bottom, just trying to make things transition and fade a little better. Eventually I'll go to the 1 guard and then back to the half, and then even the 1.5 just to make things that much smoother, just covering the steps. Okay, so next up is the half guard. We're going to use the half guard to just try to blend things from the bottom going into where I'm going to use the 1, so I'm not looking to go too high. So that's why I'm kind of staying low. I know I'll eventually go to the number 1 guard, so I don't want to go too high with this half guard. And I've already used the 2 guard, so don't want to definitely go in that range. As you can see, things smoothing out a little better. So next up is the number 1 guard. You see the hashtag number 1 there. So we'll put that number 1 guard on, open that lever all the way up. And I'm just basically going over where I use the half guard, under where I use the number 2 guard, kind of right there in the middle of both, right in that medium right there. Just looking to take a darkness out to kind of create a better blend. So now as you see, no guard on, just looking to still create a better blend from the bottom going into the top. Things look a little bit better, but just attempting to smooth some of those dark areas out a little bit. Going through my steps. Alright, so now we're going to go to the Andis Masters clipper. A lot of this fade is pretty much complete. I like to use this clipper to just clean things up. I really love the blend that the clipper creates. So I just want to go through all my steps, just making sure that the haircut is that much more cleaner. So this is just one of the secrets or part of my process that I like to use. That angle. And I'll basically just use the guards to cover all my steps. So the same steps that I covered with the other clipper, I'll just use those same steps with this clipper. So eventually I'll use the guards, the 0, the 1, and the 2. Though Masters don't have a 1.5 guard, so we just go from the 0, the 1 to the 2. Alright, so here I have the number 1 guard on. It looks very similar to the half guard, but it is the number 1. As you can see, these clippers definitely add a really good transition to your fade, so that's why I like to use this process when I do fade. I'll do the majority of the cut with the wall clippers, and then just finish everything up with the Andis Masters. So kind of master that fade, make things really look fresh and clean. next process, we're gonna spray a little water on top. So this is kind of before the cut. Right. So this is what we started with. This is where we're currently at. So this is in the cut. So we'll go ahead and start working on that top. I like to give my clients the mirror. After I spray water, I'll pull the hair up. Just kind of find my first guidelines, see about how much they want off. So you see here, looks about how much he wants off. So we'll set that guideline. All right, perfect. So then we'll just do that throughout the rest of the haircut. We'll just follow that guideline all the way around. All right, so that looks pretty good to him. So we'll go ahead and pretty much use that guideline and we'll follow that all the way around to get everything as even as possible. Now I do like this approach more than using a really big guard. This is a pretty long length, so with some haircuts you just almost have to use shears. But things are just a lot faster for me when I use this approach. It looks more natural as well. Just basically see me forming the hairstyle. Kind of creating that look. Alright, so from the sides going into the top, there's a little hair that likes to stick out, so I like to clipper over comb that section. So going from the side into the top of the hair. Trying to make sure everything has a smooth transition. And then once again here, just basically cleaning up the fade, going over all of my steps. Areas that look like they're dark, I just want to kind of make sure that fade transitions better and evenly. Guard. Alright, so we'll go ahead and add a little texture to the top. So we have the comb texturizing shears. Now safety always first when cutting hair, so I like to put the comb right in between the client and the shears, and then attempt to do the texturizing. Now this ensures that you don't put the client I'm just texturizing midway to the tips, not really going too low. So you can really control kind of how much you texturize or where you texture. All right, we'll just do that all the way around as evenly as possible. Alright, so things are looking pretty good here with the cut. So this is kind of where we're at. Always want to just blow dry to keep any of the loose hair that we just cut. Make sure we get that out. This also helps to kind of form the haircut to the desired style. So a little bit more clipper over comb just to kind of take out the hair that was out of place. This client really doesn't go for lineups, so here we're just doing a cleanup. We're not going for any hard lines, but anywhere that the hair is supposed to be bald, I'm just using the Barber trimmers to kind of cover those areas. Just make sure everything is that much more cleaner. Alright, so now let's add a little bit of product. I have some pomade, the red one, Velvet Edition, so it's purple. We'll just put a little bit on my hands, rub it on top of the hair, not in the scalp. And then we'll just comb everything in to style the way that the client likes it. He likes it comb style towards the back. We'll just do a little bit of cleanup with the Andes Masters. Alright guys, so this is pretty much how I did this haircut. You are in the cut with Ezekiel the Barber. I also want to give a shout out to my model for today. Thank you so much for allowing me to demonstrate the haircut. So the high bald fade texture on the top. Right, so just kind of cleaning everything up a little bit. Alright, so here is a before the cut. So this is kind of before how things were going. Right. And then this here is basically after the cut. So you have been in the cut with Ezekiel the Barber. This is after the cut. This young man's ready to go, freshly faded. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, take care.